U.S. Representative James Comer of Kentucky, the Republican chair of the powerful House Oversight Committee, is repeatedly pushing a baseless narrative that President Joe Biden, who has served his nation for 50 years, is compromised. Chairman Comer, who has promoted the false theory of fraud in the 2020 election, blaming alleged, troubling reports of irregularities and improprieties on Democrats, has been regularly criticized. He was deemed a fundamentally unserious, dishonest, laughable caricature by Democratic strategist Sam Cornell on Wednesday, and mocked by the Washington Post's Dana Milbank last year. In interviews with Fox News and other public pronouncements, Comer has alleged that the president's son is responsible for just about everything, Milbank wrote last year. Why is fentanyl flowing into the United States? Hunter Biden. Why is President Biden pushing electric vehicles? Hunter Biden. Why isn't the president tougher on Russian oligarchs? Hunter Biden. Why isn't the administration pinning the pandemic on a Wuhan lab leak and battling China over currency manipulation? Hunter Biden and Hunter Biden. Why did the United States rejoin the Paris Climate Accord? Hunter Biden. On Tuesday, Fox News' Sean Hannity led a highly criticized interview with Speaker Kevin McCarthy, Majority Leader Steve Scalise, Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan, and Oversight Chair James Comer that was shockingly filmed inside the U.S. House of Representatives. New York University professor Ruth Ben-Ghiat, an expert on fascism and authoritarian leaders, responded by declaring, "Americans, I give you President Murdoch and the coronation of Fox News as state media." Hannity and the top Republicans were surrounded by dozens of House Republicans, sitting quietly, as the Fox News personality promoted their talking points. In addition to posting video, journalist Matt Laszlo tweeted, Hannity noted to the lawmakers, who are obediently sitting and saying nothing, which is wild, that many of the lawmakers in attendance might not make it on TV tonight, but they gave up an hour to support the speaker. But Chairman Comer made news for two remarks, both seen in the clip below, calling Ukraine, which is fighting to protect democracy in Europe and thus around the globe, an adversary of the United States, and strongly suggesting President Joe Biden is compromised. "You know, there's a pattern here with communist China, with Ukraine, with Russia, with our adversaries across the world," he told Hannity. "And you look at the bad decisions that Joe Biden makes and this White House makes every day that has a detrimental effect on every American. You wonder, is this president compromised?" Hannity himself has promoted the baseless claim that President Biden may be compromised. In a December interview with Comer, Hannity, known to have had nightly conversations advising Donald Trump when he was president, concluded with this question: "Do you believe it's possible Joe Biden is compromised by Russia and China?" Comer dutifully replied, "I fear that he is." That word, compromised, is now being used by Comer and his fellow House Republicans repeatedly against President Biden and his family. On Monday, U.S. Representative Andy Biggs, Republican Arizona, the former chair of the far-right House Freedom Caucus, a former policy advisor to an anti-LGBTQ hate group, and an alleged co-founder of the Stop the Steal movement, called President Biden, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden, and Hunter Biden compromised, while making false claims about classified documents and the Biden think tank that were immediately handed over to the National Archives. On Wednesday, Chairman Comer again baselessly used the word compromised against President Biden. The Committee on Oversight and Accountability is investigating President Biden's involvement in his family's foreign business practices and international influence peddling schemes, Chairman Comer wrote in an official letter published by ABC News to Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, making an unsubstantiated claim as if it were fact. The committee is investigating President Biden's knowledge of and role in these schemes to assess whether he has compromised our national security at the expense of the American people, Comer wrote. ABC News adds that Comer called the Biden probe a top priority for House Republicans during the 118th Congress. The American people must know the extent of Joe Biden's involvement in his family's shady business deals and if these deals threaten national security and his decision-making as president, Comer told ABC. Comer wasn't done using the compromised word against President Biden. In a letter to the White House counsel today, Politico on Wednesday reported, new Chairman James Comer, Republican Kentucky, said the committee is concerned that President Biden has compromised intelligence, sources and methods with his own mishandling of classified documents. Chairman Comer has even set up a microsite on the House Oversight Committee's website, titled, Biden Family Investigation. On it, he alleges, if President Biden is compromised by deals with foreign adversaries and they are impacting his decision-making, this is a threat to national security. Donald Trump's tax returns show numerous foreign bank accounts, including in China, and there were reports of real estate deals in foreign countries while he was president, but Republicans ignored that. 2 years into his presidency, Open Secrets reported in 2019, Donald Trump continues to make money from properties and licensing deals in nearly 24 countries around the world, fanning the flames of concerns that the Trump administration is subject to unprecedented levels of foreign influence. Trump continued to hold more than $130 million in foreign assets in a revocable trust as his second year in office came to a close, according to Open Secrets' analysis of the president's most recent annual personal financial disclosure released by the Office of Government Ethics last month. The website, which tracks money in politics, noted. Trump's business entanglements continue to leave him with positions, assets, trademarks and other business interests in more than 30 countries. In November of last year, CNN reported, the governments of 6 foreign countries, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, spent more than $700,000 at then-President Donald Trump's Washington, D.C., hotel over the first 2 years of his presidency, according to newly released accounting documents.